Hello, welcome to the B60 Top 4 show. Today we've got myself, Raul, Emmanuel, and Sam joining the show. Interesting result for Chelsea, Emmanuel. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, it's poor result. Obviously, we're trying to push for Champions League football, but the way we're going, it's looking unlikely. Um, in terms of the actual game, first 20 minutes we played really well, kind of put them on the back foot, and then they went and scored with a nice counter attack, and then they went and scored again. Um, so from like 20, minute 20 onwards till half time, played quite poorly. Um, Then we came out in the second half, started the game, started the second half really well, got a goal straight away. Um, and then obviously got to give a shout out to Sancho. Yeah, really nice goal. He's one of the guys I like to call a DIY player. Car when you do you know them players where you give him the ball and he makes something happen? Like I think that's what Sancho is, but he hasn't been showing it enough in a Chelsea shirt. And I know he has it in him, but there's just I don't know. It's just not come together for him yet. It's a long spell at Chelsea, but I think I don't know. I mean, obviously the season's winding down, so I don't know what we're gonna do with him if we're gonna, you know, activate that obligation to buy or not. But um, yeah, I just had to give him a shout out because it was a really good goal. But yeah, just in general, I just don't think it was good enough. Ipswich are basically a team that are basically bound to go down. To go 2-0 down to them in the first half is just not good enough. Um, and I think also Maresca, I think he keeps tinkering with the team too much. I think the top four teams in the league, you can probably tell what the top, like their starting 11 is going to be. With Chelsea, 1 minute it's this team, the next minute it's that team. He's resting players for no reason. It don't make sense. I think that's affecting us a lot in the league. I think he needs to kind of stop doing that and stick to an 11 he can trust. Um, but yeah, overall, it's really poor. And the fixtures we've got coming up, yeah, I don't know. It's looking doubtful that we're going to get top five, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of clubs that are fighting for the Champions League. Well, I don't know whether it's getting the players are getting tired or it's just coming to the end of the season, but like the wheels are coming off a little bit. I think Arsenal included, our results haven't been great in the last six, 7 games. I know the last couple of games we've rested players, focusing on the Champions League, but even when we've drawn like Forest, who are just behind us, they've lost both the games at the same time, so we're increasing like the gap. I think it's to 6 points now between second and third, but. I don't know. It'll be interesting because there's teams grouped together. I know Newcastle and City are there as well. So it'll be an interesting fight. I think that's the most interesting thing. I think obviously the title's a bit done for a while now. So it'll be interesting to see how that battle and continues. But if we look a bit further down the table, again, I think it's the 17th loss this season for Spurs in the game against Wolves. Raul, what did you think of the game?
Just one of those, like the consistency has not been there this season. Even though there's been loads of injuries as well, though. But I think Ange needs to go now. Like he had enough chances, really, to be fair. Like he, he can have loads of injuries, but he can't be finished like 15th. When you know, but United's been having a poor season, and he's still below them as well. It's embarrassing. Like the game yesterday was like just embarrassing thing to watch. Wolves look like much a better team than Tottenham did as well. So it's just not sure, man. It's just I think it's the manager. I don't think the players have actually won the manager in anymore. Anyways, I think they need something fresh.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those managers where I think where I agree. I think a manager should have a set playing style, but I think there are games where you need to tweak it tactically. I think just to get the result, and I don't think Andre does that. I think he plays one way. There doesn't really seem to be a plan B, and then it just I get you've had injuries, but I think there you also got to adapt to those injuries as well. Like Arsenal, fair enough, haven't been as good as last season, but we've had injuries in the front line as well, and we've still managed to pick up results. Whereas I think Spurs have really, really struggled. And I think 17 losses for a team like Spurs isn't good enough. They should be a team competing for Europe,
Way
not.
too many losses, man. Like
Yeah.
now that there's like five places you can get in Champions League, like there's no excuse not try to finish top five. There's actually no excuse. It's very, very poor management. And then maybe it's not even just the management. Maybe is Levi needs to go out as well because he already done what he could do, build a stadium. But I think that's the maximum he could do for his capabilities. That's it. He needs to go too. He needs
Yeah,
to bring someone fresh.
yeah, I think there's a lot of frustration amongst Spurs fan base aimed at Levy. I know you can't say he hasn't invested it all, but I think there definitely probably could be a bit more funds allocated to the recruitment side of the club. Um,
He's got a reject as well. Spurs.
um,
Can have him. It's fine. We don't need him anymore.
Well,
So,
who?
what's this CEO that used to be Arsenal?
Vinay Venkatesham,
Yeah,
he's the
Vinay, yeah.
Arsenal CEO, left the club a little while ago, but he's joining as Spurs CEO now. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But I think he's more on the commercial side of things. I don't think he has too much involvement, or at least at Arsenal didn't have too much involvement in the sporting side of things. So be interesting to see how that employment pans out. But yeah, Sam, I'll move on to the Arsenal game. I'd say I don't think we played brilliantly, but obviously a bit of a frustrating draw against Brentford. What was your thoughts on the game?
To be fair, I wasn't surprised because time and time again against these kind of teams that just obviously sit back and defend, we'll be struggling against them all season, and it just goes to show like when you play teams like big teams like Real Madrid, City, they actually attack us. We've got more like there's more spaces, like the game is more open. Whereas against the low block, I just feel like we miss that creativity. It's not really fluid, um, but that's because there's no spaces in behind. So yeah, it's just I mean, in the first half, we was playing well up until we conceded that goal, which is obviously that's just been the standard this season. We've been like conceding stupid goals like out of nowhere, and then obviously we made five substitutions, and then we found ourselves down to 10 men again for the probably about the six times that's happened this season. But generally, I feel like there was some good. I mean, Saka had a decent game. Martinelli for me, he's got to do more because I don't know if this guy. I felt I was saying this to someone before. Like, you see with Martinelli, yeah, when we started challenging for top four, he was scoring goals in it. But against the low block, that's not his game in it. He's not got in his locker to like unlock the defense at the low block. So I feel like we need something like special in it, someone a bit more dynamic. Yeah, I feel like at this point we probably really need the transfer window.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing about Martinelli is he's not consistent enough. I think on his day he can be really sharp. He does create a lot. I think even against Real Madrid, I think he had quite a good game. But yeah, it's just that lack of consistency. And I think the only time he has been consistent is probably that season when we first challenged for the league. I think he got like 15 goals that season. His output was there. And you thought he'd probably kick on and become a top player, but seems like he's almost like stagnated since then. I do rate him as a player. I think his work rate's there. He's like he doesn't start running. He's like a Duracell bunny half the time. But it's just that final bit of quality, that bit of end product that I think he lacks. But yeah, I think I'd keep him at the club. I think we probably do need an upgrade on the left hand side in the summer, and I'll come on to that the last segment of the show. But if I had a choice, I'd probably would of the two, I'd probably lose Trossard. I know he's getting towards 30 now, and I think he seems a bit unhappy. I think he rejected a contract offer. I think they offered him a 1 year extension, and he refused it. So I don't know if he wants a more of a long term future at club. I don't think he'll probably have that at Arsenal. If he wants like a 2 or 3 year deal.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I don't think. think he's
Yeah,
gonna.
but watching the game, I think again it's kind of the same story as most of the draws. You had enough chance to win the game. I mean, when Saka stole the ball off Flecken in the end, he just hit the ball. You've got an open net to aim at. He just delayed and just dallied on the ball for too long. They win the ball back. He has to score there, really.
Do you
Uh,
think you guys is thinking more about Champions League instead of
yeah, well,
Premier League now,
the
to be
team
fair?
selection was obvious. I mean, he
Yeah, it was.
Saka, Odegaard, Timber, Lewis Skelly. There was loads of players that would normally start that didn't play. Like Jorginho started, Partey, Rice. There wasn't even like a creative player in the midfield, really.
So you reckon you change your focus now to the Champions League then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because well, I mean, what Liverpool need after today's result, they need what 9 points to
I
win.
think
They've
it's like
got
two more
yeah,
games
they've got
for
like yeah,
one
they've
more
got
win.
six odd games left.
Oh, no, put
Three.
some respect on that name. We can't just let Liverpool just walk the title.
Yeah,
Like
it's frustrating. I
after
think
games where we've just lost it, we just concede the goals and we're not creating enough chances against this low block. It's just frustrating to see, it? Because yeah, we obviously City fell off the season. It was our turn. We should have won the league this season. From that being in that position of actually challenging for the league and being the one to have won the league, it should have been us. We can't just let Liverpool just walk it. It's just disgraceful, isn't it?
yeah, it is frustrating because I think it's the first season points wise in the league where we would have regressed under Arteta. Like gradually, we've got more and more points every season since he took over. So. Um, You could say injuries maybe taken a part of playing that, but I just think performance-wise, I think we've not been as sharp. We've been quite inconsistent this season. Some games you have high energy. Like we played really well in the Champions League. We've been quite consistent throughout the campaign, but in the league, one week we're sharp, the next week we're not at it. There's been too many games we've been too passive in the first half, moving the ball too slowly, and then we're leaving ourselves like almost too much to do in the second half. Some games, and then. Yeah, I just think it's frustrating. But another point I want to call out from the game as well was that Christian Norgard challenge on Martinelli. I think someone tweeted. I think he turned up to Brentford training in a Real Madrid shirt or something. But I think to be fair, it wasn't that malicious of a foul. He doesn't really make too much contact with Martinelli, but it's a scissor action afterwards, and he lunges in high. So I think it is a red card.
If
Obviously,
that was Arsenal, it's gone. If
yeah,
that was an
I
Arsenal
don't
player,
know. I don't know. Maybe, but yeah,
you
I think
remember what happened to Skelly? He was gone, bro. If it was an Arsenal player, bro.
yeah, I think
Red.
Mark Goldridge was talking about. He's talking about all the incidents that have like gone unanswered this season. How many points we've lost because of VAR. But I think I'm not being funny. You can't use VAR as an excuse not to win the league. It's a 38 game season. And I think most teams are gonna have decisions go against them. But yeah, it's just another one where again I think just refereeing in this country. I don't think it's just Arsenal. It's a lot of other decisions as well. But seem to be talking about decisions every week. And I think if the referees are doing a good job, there'd be no decisions to talk about. But yeah, I'll move into hot or not for this week. I know for Arsenal, I think I'm going to give it to Declan Rice again. Great impetus, energy from midfield. I mean, he carried the ball, what, like 60, 70 yards before he assisted Partey. Another good game for him. And then I'm gonna go with Jorginho. I know he's not really a starter for us, and he comes in when we need him, but I just don't think he had a great game. Yeah. Sam, what about you if you're hot or not this week?
Not really. Out the Arsenal, there's not really anyone that I can think of. I will probably go Declan Rice because Declan Rice just does his thing. You know what you're gonna get with Declan Rice, and it was the same again. The goal that we scored came from Declan Rice as well. So yeah, it's got to be Declan Rice. Not I would probably say. See, I was gonna give it to Jorginho, but I just feel like Martinelli. Like Saka's doing this thing consistently, yeah, right. So when Saka's quiet, you expect obviously like the left hand side, you expect something from Martinelli. So I feel like we needed him. Those kind of games when you need your wingers. I don't think Martinelli offered as much. Him or Odegaard, yeah, or even put Odegaard in that bracket as well.
Yeah, I think another thing with Martinelli as well. I think Saka does get a bit more support because obviously has Odegaard a lot close to him, and then our fullbacks that do tend to overlap are Timber and White, more so on the right hand side. When we have Lewis, Skelly, and Calafiori, they do venture forward, but they're not players that consistently make that overlap and run. Like they may go up and support him and maybe move inside or play on, but they're not somebody who's constantly going to bomb on and just give him that extra option. I think the only person who really does that is Tierney, but obviously he plays quite sporadically, doesn't he? But yeah, I'll move on to Manny. You're hot or not for this week?
My hot. There's two players I want to give hot. I want to give one to Sancho because he actually looks like the player we thought we were going to get. When he came on in the second half, but the little spell that he's shown, he played really well. And also Madueke, he played well until he came off. He was causing havoc. It's going to be interesting to see what Maresca does next season with him and Esteval. I think Madueke has probably been, over the course of the season, probably been one of our most better players, to be fair. No, I'll probably give it, I don't know, maybe, I think Levi Colwill. Now, I've already said that guy's a fraud because at Brighton he was looking like maybe a future England international, but bro, since he's come to Chelsea, it don't make sense. Like, let me not talk too much.
The pressure, innit?
Eh?
Might be the pressure of playing
I
for
don't
Chelsea.
know. I don't know. I think he's. I mean, he was at fault for the first goal. I feel, um, just not stopping the cross. Also, Tozin, he probably could have trapped the player a bit better, but yeah, I'm probably going to give it to Cole. He's just looked poor the past few weeks, and yeah, you better pattern up, or else he's probably going to get replaced in the summer.
Yeah, I think the thing with Cole as well, like I think he does have a lot of the raw attributes to be a top centre back. But yeah, I agree. I think he's been consistently underperforming at Chelsea. But he still seems to make the England squads for most international as well. Don't know whether that's a lack of quality at centre back in England, but
And that's that light skin tax. Make it into the England squad.
yeah. And I'll move on to you, Raul. You're hot or not for this week?
Yeah, so probably it's a bit hard giving heart in it because the team lost 4-2, I believe. So it's always a bit tricky. But I think Johnson's been playing well. Even last game, he played well. And then this game as well, got another assist, and then Tell as well, also also scored as well. So I'll probably give to both of them. And then in terms of not, I probably could give the majority of the team really, to be fair, because of not being consistent really as well. Too, because it's a bit hard in terms of when your team's not been getting got beaten 17 times this season. It's a bit hard sometimes to find the positives on there. But yeah, so no, I'll
I
probably give
think
it.
yeah, it's hard, and you conceded four at Wolves. You're gonna have a lot of bad performances across the pitch. But yeah, but I'll move on to the final segment of the show. I just wanted to go through what you think each of your respective clubs should be doing in the summer window in terms of players we should be bringing in certain positions. I think for Arsenal, I think they've got a lot of work to do in the summer. Not just with signings, I think contracts as well. I think Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, they're all coming up to having 2 years left to run on their deals come the summer. So I think priority should be to get them signed up. I actually think another one who I don't think will sign a new deal, but I actually would give Partey another year extension. I know there's talk about Zubimendi coming in, but I think if we're losing Jorginho as well, that's two players going from that number six position. I think if Zubimendi does come in, I think Zubimendi and Partey, I'd have as a sixes if Rice is going to play eight next season, which I think probably will be likely. So I would give him a new deal. But I think Zubimendi is the first one I'd probably bring in. Then there's a lot of links to Nico Williams as well, and I think we need that upgrade on the left-hand side. I'd be happy to let Trossard go if that was the case. I think we just need a few more X factor players. someone can like, deliver something out of nothing. I think he's one of those. He's not the most consistent goal scorer, but I think he provided a lot more assists probably than Martinelli.
Yeah, you only have like one DIY player in it.
Yeah,
Saka.
yeah, exactly. So I think we need a bit more on that. One year he's young. I think he's one of them. Sometimes can create a bit of quality, but it's a lot of pressure to put on a 17.
Yeah, I think next season will probably be either make or break it for Arteta because I think they're going to give him what he actually needs, which will be a
I
striker.
mean, there's rumors that it's 200 to 300 million to the budget if you read reports. I mean, I don't know how much truth that is. Those like rumors going around that we'd have 200 million to spend last summer on net. Summer was practically not our net spend
Yeah,
was
because
practically nothing.
you guys already invested in defense, centre mids. Now
Mm.
it's just attacking now that's left.
Yeah, I think even defensively though, I think if Kivior goes, because there's always interest in him in the summer, and he hasn't really played too much this season. So I think if he wants regular game time, which I think most players would, I think last season he probably gave it an extra season, but he didn't really get that game time. And it's going to be hard to break that Steve Gabriel partnership. But there's a few rumors banding about Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth. I think he's a quality player. He's got a lot of the attributes I think we need in a modern centre back. If Kivior was to go, I'd look at maybe bringing him in as well.
Yeah, well, he plays. He's not going to bench Gabriel though.
No, I'm not, I don't want him to. As in, he'd come in as a backup.
He's gonna want to start games.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It'd be difficult to bring him in, but ideally, I think he'd be somebody I'd want. I think he'll probably go to a club where he's starting, and there'll be enough of them like suitors for him. But I just think he's a quality young centre back. What is he, 19? He's getting into Spain squad now.
Yeah, I think he's going to Real Madrid. Me, Real Madrid wants him.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's been a lot of interest, but I think ideally he's the type of profile to look for. Yeah, I don't think
I've
he'd.
never really seen him play though, to be fair, but he plays for the national team now as well, isn't it?
I think he's in quality for Bournemouth this season as well. He's come through at Juve as well, and I think they know a thing or two about good centre backs. So he'd be another one. There's rumours about Gyökeres as well. I think striker's a big one. Um, I do like him as a player. I think he's quality. I know you're a sporting fan, Raul, but I think in terms of affordability, I think out of the ones I'd want us to sign, I think he's probably the cheapest. I think Osimhen's wage demands will be a bit higher than his. And then Isak, I think 150 million would just be way too, it'd be way
Nah,
too
Isaac,
price
150
range.
was too much for Isaac, to
And I
be
think if,
fair.
if Newcastle do get Champions League, I think there's a chance he'd stay as well. If they don't, I think he'd probably leave. But and then I think we need a backup goalkeeper as well. I'd go Joe and Garcia. I think we almost got the deal done last summer, but I think it fell through. So I think he's somebody I think it'd be good to bring in. Nico Williams is another one where there's rumors now that he might sign a lifetime contract with Bilbao. But
Lifetime.
yeah, but then the couple of days before that, they were talking about how he's going to sign for Arsenal.
The thing is, it's a bit tricky for Bilbao to sign players, isn't it? Because you only sign people from
That's
their region.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the thing. So that's
Yeah,
why, because he was meant to go Barcelona that season, but
he turned it down, didn't he?
yeah,
I think as well for him, I think he said he enjoys being at the club, but yeah, and he's obviously playing with his brother as well, isn't he? So that's probably another pull to stay. But
depends
I
what he
don't know.
wants to do with his career, innit? If he wants to
Yeah, but I think
maybe
if he's available, you've got to go all in for him. I think he'd be yeah, other than the strike, I think he'd be the other one I'd want us to tie up. But yeah, Sam, I'll go to you. What do you think on Arsenal summer window?
I think, yeah, like you said, I think we need a lot. Like Raul said, this is good. I feel this is the biggest, transfer window. It's almost like a make or break for
Not
Arteta.
really. If you win the Champions League, you build my man a statue.
No, I was thinking that though. To be fair, is the season not over yet? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? The season is not over. We're still in the Champions League. But if we don't win the Champions League and we go into next season, and we're spending 250 million. You know what I mean? We have to. He's got to deliver.
yeah,
There's no
Yeah,
more
facts.
excuses. If you give him the squad depth, the thing with Arteta is right. He's a top manager, right? I've always backed Arteta, but it doesn't. I don't feel like it doesn't rotate his players enough.
yeah,
Like we've had three hamstring injuries this season. They've all needed a surgery. You've got to attribute some sort of blame to Arteta because
yeah,
clearly overplaying these players.
mm,
So, for example, Kivior now is look solid when he's had a few game times.
yeah,
So sometimes you have to rotate players. like certain games. Give them that confidence so they can step up when you need them. So, but in terms of who I feel we should get, obviously we'll start with the main thing and then striker. I'm hearing Gyökeres, but I'm not really, I'm not sure, You know what I mean?
Mm.
I've not really watched him play, I'm going to be honest with you, but the kind of goals I've seen him score is like, he's got loads of spaces, they're on the transition.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not going to get that space at Arsenal.
Mm.
So for me, two, I feel either Sesko or Isak.
Yeah,
Have you seen Sesko
for
play?
me, if we signed Sesko, I'd be so disappointed. Like we if we were where we were a couple of seasons ago, we were going trying to get back in the Champions League, fair enough. But like we're trying to win titles now, and he isn't ready yet. He didn't come last summer because he said he wasn't convinced he's going to start over Havertz. And I think if you're going to have a confident gun man who's going to score 20 goals a season, they back themselves. So they're not going to be worried about Kai Havertz. I'll be honest. And I think as well, we need a 20 goal a season striker. And he's not even done that in the Bundesliga. I mean, he's never done that. So he's getting around what, 15 goals. I think he got 14 last season. He's on about 13 now. Those numbers will drop coming to the Prem. You've seen it with like the likes of Timo Werner. Came to Premier League, did absolutely nothing. He scored 30 plus goals in the Bundesliga. Um, Gyökeres for me, I know he is a bit older, but it's not like he's scoring a small amount. He's scoring 40, 50 plus every season now. This is back to back.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
got like 40,
he's got
44 goals or
yeah,
45.
I know he's got everyone talks about his goals, transition, and pace, but if you actually look at it, he's got good close control and dribbling in around the box as well. He takes a lot of players on and finds finishes in the box.
Yeah, he makes a space. Some of his goals
Yeah,
he created himself as
yeah,
well.
and I think in a weird kind of way, if we do sign Nico Williams and Gyökeres, it gives us that option to play quicker in transition as well. I feel like the reason why we don't do that is because the only outball we ever have is Martinelli. No one else can really run in behind. I know Saka's got a bit of pace, but he isn't going to destroy someone going in
Yeah,
behind.
Gokker's
I
is
think
strong as
if you
well.
had Gyökeres and Nico Williams, you've got two players you can find those quick balls into and behind. Because I don't think we're good enough in that either. A lot of the times the teams are set and then we play. But I'll move on to you, Manny. What do you think Chelsea need to do this window?
Centre backs, goalkeeper, um, striker, left wing. It's actually mad because you spent 1 billion and there's still so many positions that are just so.
The man needs to start spending, bro. That's the problem. The man
Yeah, we
needs to
might
start
have to
spending.
just we might just have to promote some of the academy because the way we're moving, financial fair play, we're probably going to end up getting fined or something. But
Yeah, you've already signed two players as well. You got Willian Esteval coming in the summer, and then I think Kenda's coming in 2026.
years, 2 years time. But
Yeah, he looks like a real talent too. So
if we're going to be in the
the
champ,
shooting to your right hand side, I think, is there. You probably have two of the best right wing prospects on the planet coming in. So um, hopefully they can deliver.
I think if I just had to say position, though, it's goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez has cost us so many just basic things like passing a ball out from the back. It's just I don't know. It's just really poor. So yeah, so goalkeeper. I think we need at least one solid centre back and a left winger if um, we don't end up signing Sancho because I'm not too sure what's happening with Mudryk. And Neto can play there, but I don't think really it's his best position. I think he's more effective off the right. So um, yeah, probably centre back, goalkeeper, and a left winger. Um, yeah, in terms of who we get, I don't know. In terms of a goalkeeper, like I said, I would be interested in Kelleher. If not him, then um, I'm not too sure who's available as a top keeper. Um, but yeah, just them three positions. I'm going to be real. Them three positions. I think they're the main play positions we need, and also a striker, hopefully. But I think Nicholas Jackson has a lot of potential, and also if Nkunku leaves as well, because I mean, the past couple of weeks he don't really look too interested, and that's probably down to the fact that he probably don't want to be at the club. So, um, yeah, if he ends up leaving, we're probably gonna have to invest in a striker as well. So yeah,
Yeah, it'd be interesting. The battle for strikers is somewhere would be really interesting. And like United are probably after one as well. That's just in the Premier League, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting battle. There'll be a lot of clubs going out for them. But yeah, I think it's an interesting summer. It'll be a good one. I think there's a lot of clubs that have a lot of work to do. But on that, I'll end this week's show. Thanks to you all for joining again. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you again next week.